Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right, and you tuned into another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast where we give you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. What's going on with you, my guy?
Man, I can't call it. You know, I'm starting to come down a little bit off my high. You know what I mean? We coming off 2-0. Actually, if we're being technical, 3-0. You know what I'm saying? If we want to count the fantasy league, you know what I'm saying, that we both forgot that we were still in and then auto drafted. And hey, I pulled off like a dominating win last week. I beat your cousin. Like,
hey, nobody's playing in that league.
Oh, nobody playing it. They just got the auto.
Bro, I don't even know who I got on that team.
Yo, listen. I had, so you know what the Dolphins did. We all know they put up 70 points. You want to know the two Dolphin players I had?
Tyreek and Raheem Mostert.
Yep. both of them got me about 40. I like, yo, that's crazy.
Let me tell you something.
But
fuck Tyreek Hill. In the most non-malicious way, but fuck Tyreek Hill. Because my little cousin had him this past week. That motherfucker had 32 and some change on me. And that's the reason he won against me. Now, let me tell you what's even crazier. My team was only projected to get 90-something points. His team was projected to get 123. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He was thinking it was funny because Sunday, I had everybody playing. He still had Mixon, Goddard, and Joe Burrow playing. So he was taking Joe Burrow out. So everybody in the group chat like, oh, man, he about to beat you without a quarterback. He about to beat you without a quarterback. Well, the end of Sunday, I'm up 15 points. So now he nervous. So he trying to figure out if Joe Burrow playing or not. He ain't putting this in the chat. He texted me this. I'm trying to figure out if Joe Burrow playing or not. I'm like, okay. Well, come to find out, it ain't what he thought it was. He thought Joe Burrow was going to be out. Joe Burrow ended up playing. If it wasn't for Tyreek Hill, he'd have lost. No, I'm serious. If it wasn't for Tyreek Hill, he'd have lost by 20. With the same weak team I got now, that he'd have lost by 20. Tyreek Hill saved that man life.
Say, yo, that's crazy. But I would go further if we was on the football pod. But I'm feeling like, man, you know, still happy about the win that we got. I still got one place that I'm waiting to deliver at, because it was one person. You know what I'm saying? They want to do a little bet. You know, they were like, you ready to wear this Clemson shirt? I was like, what? I was like, I ain't wearing nothing. They're like, you want to bet? I was like, all right, let's bet. I ain't seen them yet.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got delivered, they lucky I didn't pop up on a Monday.
Right.
I was like, you know what? Monday was so crazy at work, I didn't have the time. But I'm just saying. But I'm straight though, man. How you feeling? Everything good with you?
Yeah, everything good, bro. I don't got no complaints, man. Just you know, getting ready for the week, man. Just maintaining. Working like usual, you know what I'm saying? Getting ready for my son's cross country meet. I think he got 2 of them this week, so we're getting ready for that. That's pretty much about it.
I hear that, man. You know, I heard about the last meet he put together, so that was great.
Yeah, definitely. So he been practicing all week. This time, last week he wasn't trying to practice, but now since he done found out he beat his personal record, he trying to challenge himself. So you know, he doing his thing, man.
That's what's up, man.
So man, we got an exciting one for y'all this week, man. This week we are covering Blow, starring Johnny Depp, Penelope Cruz, Paul Rubens, Jordi Moya, Miguel Sandoval, Ethan Suplee, Ray Liotta, and a host of others. Pretty much, this movie is about Boston George and his rise and fall in the cocaine industry during the 1970s, 1980s. Um, this is possibly one of the best movies. I'm gonna tell you now, off rip. I don't. I really don't even have to do a Fire Flames. I'm giving this a 5 off rip because this is one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
This is definitely on a list of favorite movies for me. So I'm automatically giving this a 5. So just I want to get that out the way. Um, Rewatching this, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you've seen this a thousand times. How did you feel about rewatching this? What are some things you know how we do, man? How did you feel rewatching this?
Uh, Obviously, this is one of those movies that's really down my lane. This is a lot of the stuff that I fuck with. If y'all listen to my pod, I do a lot of like drug series type of episodes on there. So yeah, this is right down my alley. And like going back and rewatching this, even though this is a movie I kind of watch, throughout the years, um, for some odd reason, watching it this time, something stood out to me that didn't stand out before.
Mhm.
And that was the thing of like, it was Boston Joy's dad. Like, the way that he looked up to him, you know what I'm saying, initially, and how I, it was something that I wanted to talk to you about on the pod
Mhm.
because it was two drastically different relationships with his mom and his dad.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? Like his mom was more like embarrassed of the fact that he did this. She looked at it like this is a reflection off of us because that you're doing this and all this type shit. And his dad was just more like nonchalant with it, with the fact of like, yo, I could like there was one scene where when he went to see the house and they was walking outside and he was like giving his dad some bullshit about his business and the stuff. He's like, man, cut the shit. Like, I know what you're doing. You know what I
mhm.
mean? He was like, I couldn't stop you if I wanted to, could I? And he was like, no, you couldn't. So
Right.
his dad was just more of like, I know I can't stop you from doing this. And he would always tell him, I wish you would do something else. He was
Mhm.
like, yo, I think you would have been great at anything that you chose to do.
Mhm.
And I just thought that like I guess because like my boys are getting older and it's just more of like how would I tackle something like that? Because once a child gets to a certain age, there's nothing that you could do. And I just thought that that dynamic between his kids, for some odd reason, just this time that I watched it, it hit a little different this time. So that was my takeaway from watching it this time of like how drastically different the two parents was and
Mhm.
how because I'll say this and I'm gonna start rambling. I'm gonna ask you, but like I'm not the parent of like if it's like a situation where like my child murdered somebody or some shit like that. Like don't get me wrong, like you're still my child. You're never not gonna ever be my child. But I'm not
Right.
gonna defend you if you do some shit like that. It's just like
Right.
yo, you know what I'm saying? You are where you supposed to be. You deserve to be here because you know you don't
Mhm.
fucking kill nobody. But like I'm not gonna be the one that's like, oh, fight to the end and you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be that type of parent. I'm sorry. I love my
Right.
kids, but like you do some dumb shit, I'm not fucking fighting for you. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But you're always still gonna be my child. And I just thought that the way that he treated George and the way that his mom did was just drastically different. But we can get more into it later on in the pod. But watching this for you, you said this is one of your favorite movies.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on
So
what you saw?
excuse me. Um, so the same you know what I'm saying, outlook you had with the dad, this time around I actually kind of paid a little bit more attention though. I had that same outlook with his mom. Um, and the thing about the thing about her that I really paid attention to this time was not so much how horrible of a person she was, but more so just how much of an opportunist that she was.
Okay.
Um, the the in the beginning scene where he was, what I'm saying, talking about how his dad was, his business was going bad and they were going broke and everything, and his dad and his mom were arguing. And he was trying to say, like, not in front of the boy, like, yo, we can talk about this later. This ain't something to talk about now. And she was just like, yo, I don't give a fuck. Like, I didn't. She even said it, like, yo, do you think this is like, what did I marry you for? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, she was looking for a come up. She was looking for a way out. And then as you seen, like, she just left him. And George is like, Mom, like, where you going? Like, she like, yo, go home, go home. Like, and then like you seen it was Christmas and she just pop up. And because his dad was such a, what I'm saying, like his dad was such a loving person, and his dad was, what I'm saying, he was a man at the time. Like, he was, well, I ain't gonna say at the time, in general, really, he was just a man. You know what I'm saying? His wife came back, he took her back in, and what I'm saying, like, he didn't give a fuck about none of that. He loved his wife, he loved his child. Um, and even so much so, really to the detriment of both of them, really, with
Yeah.
him and the dad, not so much the mom. But and she come back, George like, man, you left us, motherfucker. I can't, I'm not with it. But his dad was like, yo, come hug your mom, man. And so we kind of seen the type of person we thought we thought she just was, right? And then when George had went back home to, talk to them and hang out with them or whatever, the police had came. And George like, yo, what the fuck? Like, he hearing, what I'm saying, cars pull up, he hearing sirens. Next thing you know, he running upstairs. He get caught, he get brought downstairs in cuffs, get put in the back seat, and his mom like, what did you expect me to do? His dad like, what the fuck you mean? What, this your son? But because she only cared about herself, we seen that, she didn't give a fuck whether George went to jail or not. She was talking about, yo, you need to go to jail. It's what's best for you, and blah blah blah. And then the scene to me that kind of threw it all off was when he had fast forward to them, excuse me, what was her name? Murtha. Him and Murtha got married. They were having a baby. And his mom and dad, they came over, the same scene you were talking about when he was outside talking to his dad. Before that, Murtha was showing the mom everything in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just with it. She like, yeah, y'all got so much money, and y'all just living it up. The one of these can't be. She was talking about the I forgot what it was called, but she was like, yeah, one of these can't be expensive. I mean, one of these can't be cheap. It must be expensive. So she was really looking in it like, yo, like, what can I get out of this? And I was just
Yeah.
like, I was trying to imagine him having to grow up with that and understanding why he kind of became what he became. You know what I'm saying? It's tough to where, you know, you get most of your nurturing from your father, who really ain't even there as much because he's always trying to work to provide for y'all. And then I can only imagine what it's like just being at home with her. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think she worked or none of that shit.
Yeah, she
So
didn't, but also, and this is one of the things that I talk about when I do my drug dealer episodes, and I think that, and like I say, it's not me justifying it. It's just the fact of like the only way you're really gonna understand is like kind of really being in that situation.
right.
So something that George saw, what a lot of drug dealers, what people who become drug dealers see. So there was a scene where when George went to the bank with
Mm-hmm.
his dad tried to get that loan or whatever, and they denied him.
Right.
And he was talking, he was like, yo, like I watched my dad work 15 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? All this type of shit. And the shit never was enough. And he
Mm-hmm.
had the conversation with his dad. It was like, yo, like when I grow up, I never want to be like this or something. How
He
he
said, "I never
put
want
it.
to be broke."
I said, he's like, I never
Mm-hmm.
want to be broke. And he was like, if you don't, he's like, son, if you don't want to be, you won't be,
Mm-hmm.
or however he put it. And see, a lot of the times when you look at a lot of drug dealers' backgrounds, like a lot of the people that was on those American Gangster episodes, what did they see? They saw their mom, not their dad, but they saw their
Right.
mom work 2, 3, 4 jobs, but she still can't feed them. She's always gone, and he got to be the man of the family, and get
Mm-hmm.
his sister together, and whatever the case may be. But it's just you're watching a person literally break their back, but they, what I'm saying, like the way I always put it is like you're running on a treadmill. You're not going
Absolutely.
anywhere.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them see this fast money, and they're like, "Yo, like I'm gonna go do this." Like I've seen them do it this way. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
my mom or my dad or my parents go to work and work their ass off, and they got nothing to show for it. Why am I going to continue to cycle and do the same shit? So
Right.
that's how a lot of people end up going into drug dealing and shit, because they're like, yo, we seen it your way. This shit ain't working. That's not how I want to live. So I'm going to go and do this. I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying, like, it's relatable, and you can see how a person could do that. So to see his dad put in the effort, and not only that, but to see his dad really put up with a woman that didn't even really fuck with him like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That'll change your outlook on women as well. Where it's
Well,
like,
what's interesting is, um, we see that when he first got locked up, Barbie, you know what I'm saying, the one who introduced him to Derek,
mhm,
um, you know, he find out he about to get 5 years. He really only gonna have to do 2. And the first thing she say to him is, "Yo, I don't got 2 years." And right then and there, it was his mom all over again leaving him. You
well,
know what I'm
no,
saying?
well, it really wasn't her fault though. Mom left voluntarily. She had cancer.
I mean, true, but I'm saying just the scenario of leaving, you know what I'm saying, losing somebody
Yeah,
that means so much to you, because it's like, yo, if you when you think about that situation, whether she left on her own or whether, you know what I'm saying, it was something she couldn't control, it's still that same loss.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me, that's the first thing that popped in my mind again. It was like, damn, this is his mom all over again. You know what I'm saying? Him trying to love a woman, and granted, this is a different type of love. However, still is love though, and or a woman he cares about. I guess that's a better way to put it. A woman he cares about has to leave him. You know what I'm saying? His
mhm.
mom didn't, but she did. But you know what I'm saying? Him losing that, and so, and then if you really think about it, like, yo, really, Barbie was the best thing that had happened to him.
Yeah,
And as crazy as that is to put it, like, she really was, because yo, she was with him through everything. He was like, these motherfuckers didn't want to work. They was beach bums, like all kind of. She was ride or die. You know what I'm saying? And so then she like, yo, man, Tuna bring, you know what I'm saying, he bring the brown paper bag of dirt. You know what I'm saying? Full of shake. And she like, yo, y'all want some real weed, man? I know where to get some. And you know what I'm saying? Put them on with Derek. Next thing you know, they making hand over fist. And she, you know what I'm saying, she was a flight attendant, so she was able to get it, you know what I'm saying, make moves, however. And then they get busted, of course. Well, he get busted. And then boom, you know what I'm saying? It's all bad from there, but it's just in that moment I kind of seen it like, dang, like he really has to deal with another loss.
well, okay. So let me ask you this real quick.
Mhm.
So this is like a two-part question.
Right.
So she, when they was having a conversation, no, this was beforehand.
Okay.
So he took Barbie to see his parents,
Hmm.
right? Nose started bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
So they was like, all right, like we're gonna leave, whatever, whatever, all this type of shit. He left all the hundreds, so he's outside, and she's like, "Babe, I don't." She was like, I don't feel good. She said, I feel something weird about the Chicago thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 no. She just said, I'm gonna stay back from the Chicago thing because she said she didn't feel well,
Right.
and that's when he ended up getting locked up when he went to Chicago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that I wanted to add, so well, okay, let me add this and then I ask you that. So to piggyback off your ride or die, when he ran into when his friend had came and he was like, yo, if we had grass like this back in Boston, he was like, man, I know people who will pay $500 for, what I'm saying, what y'all getting for like 100 or whatever or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So she was ride or die enough to where she would take 2 suitcases. Now, granted, they didn't check their stuff when they was flight attendants, but
Right.
still, you know what I'm saying? She can get some time for doing some shit
Absolutely.
like that.
Absolutely.
And she did it. But my thing is, knowing what Derek for real ended up doing, because he fucked Joyce like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
But my question to you is, do you think he had anything to do with Chicago? They don't mention it in the
Mm-hmm.
movie, but I'm just saying, when you
I
keep
don't.
watching the movie,
I don't
Derek
think
fucked him.
so.
So you
I
don't
don't
think he
think
had
so.
nothing to do with Chicago? Okay.
I think later on down the line, that's when Derek decided to do what he did. Only reason I say that is because they was making too much money for Derek to fuck him over. What would have been Derek's benefit for doing that?
Yeah, early it would have been no benefit of doing it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what would have been his benefit of doing that? Because to me, I don't feel like Derek ever even had that thought until um Diego decided
Diego, yeah.
to talk to him after he found out who he is. To me, Derek, I feel like Derek would have never switched sides had Diego not tried to fuck over George in that, you know what I'm saying, in that one part. Outside of that, I feel like Derek would have been with him through whatever, because if you remember when they was talking about even, you know what I'm saying, up in the taking out the middleman and just going straight over there, he was like, yeah, but what about Derek? He like, yo, Derek is our partner. He was like, so what's good for us is good for Derek. They brought Derek with them. It wasn't like they left Derek out and left him in
Yeah.
the dark. He was like, yo, we
Well,
about to go over
well, that
here
was
and
that was before Diego though.
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying just like as
Yeah.
far as the way that he treated Derek and what he did for Derek, like it was too much money on the table for Derek to try to get him up out of there because it would have been a loss. Derek don't have the connects in Boston like he do, and that's where all the money was being made was in Boston, and you know what I'm saying, taking it to the East Coast. So without George, Derek really can't do too much of nothing. And you even seen like when he said like when he had came back and dude was checking the purity of what he was bringing from Colombia. He was like, yo, he was like, I don't see you in all these years, and then you bring me all these kilos. He was like, what do you expect me to do with it? He was like, yo, just sell it. The first person he go to when shit got bad was who? It was Derek. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that just lets you know how George felt about him. He trusted him enough to be like, hey, I'm in a spot. I can get you some easy money. All I need you to do is do what you do best. And as you can see, you seen where that led to. I think once Diego started feeling like, yo, I gotta find out who this guy is, because I felt like Diego was jealous of him.
Diego was definitely jealous of him.
Diego was very jealous of him. And the one thing that threw me off was at the wedding. They sitting down at the table and they asking him, who's this mystery guy? He like, I can't tell you, just know everything is gonna go to plan. You know what I'm saying? Pablo good with it, y'all should be good with it. And next thing you know, um, it's just like, you know what I'm saying, here they go. They trying to figure it out. Um, Not only are they trying to figure it out, Diego says, well, he got this mystery man, and here I am, his best friend. He won't even tell me. You know what I'm saying? Must be nice.
Hmm.
So that kind of let me know where Diego was going anyway with that. And then, you know what I'm saying, when they were in when they were at the hotel and he got shot. You know what I'm saying? That was Diego's fault. Everything bad that kind of was happening to him early on, it was Diego.
Yeah, it definitely was, man. And Diego, like he was jealous of the other guy, but also I think Derek, I mean not Derek, I think Diego was jealous of him for the simple fact that he was able to, you know what I'm saying, sell that coke in the 36 hours. Not
Mm-hmm.
only that, they go to see, you know what I'm saying, Pablo Escobar. He
Mm-hmm.
don't want to see Diego. He only
At
wants
all.
to see George.
Yeah.
So I think that this was one of them things where I think that this is when he first started to resent him, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, I bring you here, but he don't want to see me. He only want to see you.
And the crazy part was George was loyal to him the whole time. He told Pablo the most riskiest thing you could possibly do. I'm not doing business with you unless you do business with me and Diego.
Exactly. After he just saw a dude get shot.
Literally.
The first thing that he sees is a dude get shot. And he
Yeah.
was like, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but I don't really want to negotiate without my
Oh,
partner. I don't really want to do anything without my partner.
no, let's take it further than that. Because it wasn't just him getting shot. He seen they both of them seen dude get shot. Pablo personally told him, yeah, you know what I'm saying, if he would have got away, then you know what I'm saying, his wife, his mother, his father, his kids, you know what I'm saying, neighbors, family members, cousins, people that, you know what I'm saying, live down the street from him, a lot of people would have died. This motherfucker still say, listen, it's all good, but can't work with you without Diego. That's my partner. So he was loyal to me, he was loyal to everybody, no matter what.
And then I think the other thing, so I think he was jealous of him because of the Pablo thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think he was jealous of him because he wouldn't tell him who Derek was. He
Mm-hmm.
was jealous because he stole old dude girl.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the other dude, and like they couldn't retaliate because he was one of Pablo's guys. Like he said, he was like in the 70s, he said late 70s, early 80s. He said it's an 85% chance any fucking cocaine y'all was doing, you got it from us.
Yep, and they got that shit straight from Pablo.
Straight from Pablo. So he was one of Pablo's main money makers, so he was untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
So when he started fucking with old dude girl, dude never liked him from the rip. When
Right.
Diego first brought him down, dude was giving George the side eye. So he never
Well,
liked.
I'm gonna tell you, absolutely. Well, when they had already been going at it from the get go, he was talking. He start pressing George when they first met. He like, yo, I want to know about the suitcases. What's in the suitcases? What kind of plane you got? And all this other shit. And George like, hey man, I know how to run this shit. The only reason I got caught last time was because my girl's sick. Basically, that's what he was telling them. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't even I wouldn't even have to deal with you motherfuckers. I still be running my old operation, making my money the way I was making it. And then from there on, that's how you knew shit was already funny. And then when they had the meeting at the hotel, and then Diego was him and his girl was arguing, which to me was weird because I'm like, what the fuck is she arguing about?
It seemed like she was arguing about the money that they was gonna pay the fucking
Yeah,
pilot guy.
right.
So let
But
me
it
ask you
don't make
this:
what difference does that make, bitch? You not in this? Sit down.
for so this is late 70s. Okay, so for dude come up to you, you know what I'm saying? You making good money because you a pilot already. You got your
Right,
own plane.
right.
In the late 70s, somebody say, yo, $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to give these motherfuckers pictures of your kids and tell them where your kids go to school at?
Let me tell you something, sir. For $2 million in the late 70s, they can have a picture of my grandmother. They can have a picture of my kid. Okay. I am going to be top gun in that motherfucker. Okay. What do you want me to fly? How do you want me to fly it? Where am I landing it? Where am I taking off from? That's all I'm saying. What? 2 mil?
Oh my gosh.
Just think about that, bro. Only thing you doing, you really only flying to 3 spots back and forth. And that's it. for $2 million. The niggas on Cocaine Cowboys had to race boats and shit and get on ESPN. Nigga, all I gotta do is fly fucking. Hey man, sign me up. I do it right now for $2 million. Tax free,
Oh man.
no taxes, all cash. Hey man, what? I
Hey,
flap my
but
arms and fly that motherfucker there, bro.
hey, but what
Yeah.
what Randy Moss say? Straight cash, homie.
Hey, you hear me? Where the end zone
Hey,
at? I'm there. I
yo,
tell you
that's
that. Would you
hilarious.
do it?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you.
Hey,
I'm gonna
you
tell
a
you
better
why I
man
say
than
I don't
me.
know.
You a better man than
Only
me.
because like he said, he's like, yo, we're leaving like $3 million worth of shit with you every time you do this shit, and we got to
Mhm.
make sure. Now, I wouldn't never try to fuck with them.
Hey,
I'm
let me
just
tell you
talking
something.
about
I wouldn't
more.
care about cocaine a day in my life, brother. You hear me? I'd be drug free. I wouldn't drink. I wouldn't smoke. I wouldn't do nothing but fly.
No, I'm just meaning like, what if I have fucking engine failure and you know what I mean? Like I would think about more shit like
I'm gonna
that.
take every brick of cocaine and I'm going to get parachutes. We are going to parachute there. Okay. I'm gonna find a
No,
way to get it there on time. If
no,
I gotta
like
put the plane on autopilot, climb out the plane, fix it, get back in, and fly it again, it's gonna get there. Okay, for 2 mils, man, please.
nah, yeah. I mean, look, you right because like my thing is, I know I would because see, I'm not a greedy person, so it's more of like there's no reason for me to take the shit and what I mean, fuck the whole plan
Yeah,
up
man, I
just
ain't
to.
messing with no. I'm not messing with no. Sell all the cocaine you want. I just need to get it there. I'm the chauffeur. That's it. For 2 million is way more than enough for me for every trip. I'm trying to get it there as fast as possible.
Yeah, but the one dude, man, he was so disrespectful because like
Yeah,
when
yeah, for sure.
George had said something, he was like, "What are you talking for?"
Yeah.
He was like, we don't even really need you no more. Like you're getting a percentage for really nothing. He was like, and I was just like, yo, this dude,
Which was crazy to me because ain't that was after he talked to Pablo, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, this is
None of this gets done without George. Let's just say that.
exactly. And
So
I think he had resentment to George too,
they all did.
because I think they looked at him like, why, how is this white guy just gonna come in here? Like this is what we do. This is what our country's known for,
Hmm.
and you're coming into our territory, and but like to finish my point about Diego is like, and I think George kind of knew like how he just kept bringing up the fact that he didn't know who Derek was, and then for him, yo, let me tell you something. That whole hotel scene, man, that was such a whole move. Like the way he was acting, and then because none of that shit was even necessary. You could have like, okay, y'all didn't get to finish the conversation because the dudes pulled up. Cool, we can finish this conversation when they leave.
Right.
But you want to act like a hoe in front of these dudes. They pull guns out and shit. One dude get happy and fucking shoot me in the shoulder.
The main dude
Over,
shot.
yeah. So we could have finished this when they left, but you want to be a hoe about it and do it while they're here. So then he get him shot. Then he tell him who he is, and immediately. Now they never tell us, and maybe George didn't know because I know he probably told some of the story to the person that wrote the book or whatever.
Right.
But like we don't know what Diego offered him. We don't know if he gave him a bigger cut. We don't know if what I'm saying, he sold it to him cheaper. We don't necessarily know what the deal was.
Well, we already know Diego is a dirtbag from how this shit all
Deal,
started to begin with.
yeah, but for Derek, but the thing is, Derek known George for years at this point,
No, no, no.
and he
I'm not even
told,
talking about. I ain't even talking about Derek. I'm talking about when they was at the hotel.
oh yeah,
Diego called him back. He said, "I need you to do me a favor." He go to get the 50 bricks from the dudes, right?
yeah,
He called Diego. This is how all this shit even got to the Pablo situation. He calls Diego. No, Diego calls him. Diego like, man, I'm in jail. You in jail? He like, yeah, in Colombia. He like, what the fuck? Yo, his first instinct, go to Derek. Well, before all this, the dude said, yo, tell Diego, don't ever have us holding bricks again like that for 3 weeks. So you mean to tell me that you got a deal on the table and you ain't even going through with the deal? So you already doing bad business from the jump.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So you already fucked up from the jump. Not only that, man, you in jail in Colombia. Fam. Then when I get out, you talk about, yeah, I'm home, man. Fam, I'm on parole. I ain't even supposed to be leaving here. I got to live with my parents. And now you want me to come fly out to you? So everything was bad moves from the get-go, messing with Diego. Now, don't get me wrong. Diego got it to the point to where he can, because the one scene where he trying to find somewhere to put money is crazy.
Yeah.
He like, put it in the back room. It ain't no room. Put it in the closet. Put it in the closet. Ain't no room there either. Like, fam. So luckily they was able to, you know what I'm saying, take that, which I thought was crazy, take it to the bank to where to Noriega's bank. And the one thing that stuck out to me the most, when they got them red ledger books, George was looking through his. And Diego looked over like that. And George was like, what you doing, my boy? You know what I'm saying? That let me know. Yeah, Diego was a snake from the get-go.
Yep. That's why I say, man, greed, jealousy, ego, all of that shit will completely destroy a fucking partnership.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, and I think that the way that he should have looked at it was like, because obviously he didn't know how that conversation went with Pablo, but like for Pablo to say, yo, I don't want to see you, I just want to see George.
Right.
And then they come back and say, we in a partnership. Right then and there, you should have known. He probably could have cut me out of the shit, but he kept me in it.
Not only that, motherfucker probably saved me.
Exactly. Because everybody knew you were trouble. If you think about it, everybody that was around Diego, you could tell they really didn't want to really fuck with Diego. Right. Because they knew Diego brought problems. And George was really that middle ground that really kept everything together. He was the glue that kept everything together. But you fuck him over. You offer whatever you offer to Derek, and they cut you out, which really was kind of a blessing for George, if you think about it. Because, he flew down there, he went to go see him, and he was just like, yo, like, you fucked me. And it was like, man, whatever, you're out, all this type of shit. They give him an ass whooping. But, you know what I'm saying, his wife is pregnant at the time. And what's mad crazy is his wife doing coke. You know what I'm saying, while she's pregnant, and that daughter came out with no problem. But that's a whole other thing.
It's the 70s, man.
So, but it was really a blessing because it really gave George, like, those early years with his daughter. It, you know what I'm saying, it was able to, keep him focused on the,
right.
On the prize of his daughter and taking care of his daughter and all this type of shit. Because really, George really became his dad.
Yeah.
While he was out of the business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way that he adored his daughter and all that type shit. What fucked him up, he ended up basically marrying his mom.
Man.
He married his mom.
Damn, you are. See, that's why I'm saying every fucking relationship he has with the woman, possibly besides his daughter, it was fucked up. The only one,
and that ended up getting fucked up.
Yeah, the only one that he didn't have an issue with was Barbie.
Yep, and it was just unfortunate that she ended up having cancer. And like with his wife, when he married her, she's complaining about money and all of this type shit. And so, and another thing that fucked him up, it wasn't just the fact that she was fucking mad crazy and flipping out. Well, I think she kind of really forced him to have that birthday party
Yeah,
because I think she wanted to cut loose, and the only way she could cut loose if a lot of people that came in with money,
he could be
and that's the
distracted.
yeah, and that was the one thing that kind of sucks about being in that business is that really a lot of the people that you in business with, they really become your family. So
Yeah, and you always got to look over your shoulder.
yeah, like you always have to look over your shoulder, but then at the same time, if you're out the game, it's kind of hard being associated with people who are in the game.
Right.
And so they have the birthday party. It was a whole raid. So they fucking arrest his ass because he
Mm-hmm.
slipped up and did the whole birthday party shit.
Mm-hmm.
So then this motherfucker, he goes out and he get out on bail. So now he's gonna try to fucking run. Come to find out, they took all the money out the motherfucking account.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something about Panama had bought the bank or whatever. He was supposed to be notified, but he was never notified, which is crazy because we don't know how much fucking money this motherfucker lost. They didn't say what the number
Well,
was.
this is the thing too. We also forgetting that around this time, this is around the time that um the communists are trying to take over in parts of Central and Southern America.
Hmm.
Also, this is the beginning of the Cold War.
Hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like around this time is like I don't even believe we got like to the Cuban Missile Crisis and shit yet. So if anybody is familiar with Snowfall, the
I
shit
was gonna
that
say,
Teddy was doing,
yep,
you feel me? The same shit Teddy was doing was the same shit Boston George and them was doing. And except for Teddy just was, you know what I'm saying? He was government. So all of that shit that they was doing is this is the flip side of what was going on in Snowfall. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, you got to remember that they originally started on the West Coast with this shit. It eventually moved over to the East Coast. And this I think this is the view of the East Coast thing because at this time, remember he was giving that shit to Hollywood people and musicians and all the famous people first. And then once they started doing it, all the business people and everybody else, next thing you know, is popping and he in Miami and you know what I'm saying? He up and down the East Coast with it. Um, so when the Panama thing happened around that time, I want to say this is when the damn what's dude's name, bro? Uh I forgot what the general dude's name is, but he's the one of the reasons that like Reagan and all them was doing that shit. They mentioned his name in Snowfall too, but like it's because of him. Ollie North. This is the whole Ollie North shit.
hmm
That's when Panama and all that shit, and they taking over banks and all that. That's all the Ollie North shit. That's where they was getting the money from to be able to fund all the shit and give money to these motherfuckers and create this whole faux war.
crazy. So
Yeah,
now George can't run the way he wanted to run because he
right,
ain't got no funds.
right.
So then, for some odd reason, I don't know why, I guess he was in love. He goes back, sees her. She
Mm-hmm.
wanna fucking wild out in the car and shit. Get him pulled, and he told her it was a cop behind me. But nah, you wanna fucking, you know what I'm
Have
saying,
sex in the
climb on
car.
top of me and all this type shit. And he got to pull over. Cops pull him over, so he gets locked up. So now he goes to jail. 5 years go
Which is
by. Then
crazy.
you,
Time out. Which is crazy. Why did he get locked up for real? Because there was no reason to really lock him up.
he was on the run. Remember, he jumped bail.
That's what it was. Okay, okay, that's what it was. Because every
Yeah,
time I seen that scene, I was like, "What the fuck are they arresting him for?" Her crazy ass. But I keep forgetting, Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
he
yeah,
was on bail because remember he got arrested from the party
right.
and they let him out on bail. He paid
Yeah.
his bail.
He
And
was
he
trying
was
to get
gonna
out.
run.
Right.
He went to Panama well to get the money and seen that Panama took the money, so
Yeah.
he went back. And so
Flight and
then
shit.
then she comes in and fucking say
Brings the
I'm
daughter,
divorcing
man.
you and you know what I'm saying? And all of that type shit. So he gets out and like his whole purpose is fucking fixing his relationship with his daughter. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? That's all he wanted to do at this point. And he was able to finally fix that relationship. But then it was, you know what I'm saying? It's that whole thing of like I say, man, that greed. He just like, yo, one more score, man. One more score, I'll be good. I just
Mm-hmm.
one tap, one last time, I'll be straight. So who do you call? Call Derek. The one person that the last time you fought with him, well, the last two times,
Mm-hmm.
the the first time is when you called him when he left you and went to Diego. Then your wife calls him to come to the party, which, like I say, the reason I brought what I brought up earlier. So then Derek come around, you get locked up at the birthday
Well,
party.
well,
I'm not saying it's Derek's fault. I'm just saying. I'm
I
just
hear
saying.
you, but I always side eye Murtha in that shit. Cause remember, she was trying to get the fuck out of there.
She was.
And
But
what
I
better
don't
way
think
than to bring all these motherfuckers together? Get this nigga locked up, divorce him, never have to worry about this motherfucker again. Or at least so she thought.
but the thing is he didn't have no money at the time.
Didn't matter.
What was her motive of
She
locking him up?
she cause she needed to get away from this motherfucker so she can go find somebody with money. You can't find somebody with money with a motherfucker that don't want to divorce you.
And I think when you see her house, I don't think the person that she ended up finding had money.
Well, maybe she got food, but I'm saying like I'm just saying for her thought process in that moment
Yeah,
was like, yo, I gotta find a way to get rid of this dude. He not gonna divorce me because he in love with me. And as we know how his dad was. He was the same way.
yep,
So,
yep.
yo, if I get him locked up, I can divorce him if he locked up. He ain't gonna have no
Which
choice but to
yeah,
do it then. And I can
yep.
go live my life and do everything I had to do. I think that was another reason that she brought the daughter there was to be like, yo, I got to break this motherfucker down. Cause don't forget, she wasn't stupid.
Mm-mm.
She wasn't stupid by far. She knew who to fuck with. Cause the motherfucker she was fucking with before George was one of the guys that had some money. So she knew how to keep that shit rolling. That was her whole game.
Oh yeah, that was her whole game. So she bring the daughter. So like I said, he fixed a relationship with his daughter, but he knew he needed some cash. And the only way he knew how to do this dude been a drug dealer since he was like 17 years old. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's all he knew how to do at this
Right.
point. And so he called up Derek. Derek hooked him up with some guys. The guys telling him how they're gonna run the operation. Like, where's your guys? He pointed to the guys, and who shows up? Fucking Dooley.
Yeah.
And the whole scene of like the one scene that really hurts when you watch this shit. Don't get me wrong, the one scene did hurt when you seen the daughter sitting out there waiting for him. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I always have sympathy for kids. But like the whole scene of when, George is like, you know what? I'm gonna give all y'all raises. You know what I'm saying? Instead of
Mm-hmm.
10%, I'm gonna give y'all 15%, all this type shit. Like, I gotta use the bathroom, and he gets up, and they was like, man, I don't really want to do this. They was like, man, I like the guy. They was like, man, I like him too, man, but we gotta do our job. Like, he just had that charisma where people fuck with him to the
Mm-hmm.
point where they didn't even want to fucking bust him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They was like, man, I don't even want to do this to him. This dude giving us raises. He don't even have to.
Yeah.
Like, he's talking about seeing his daughter and all this shit. And then, he comes back. Why I got the long faces? Where's my knife? And he knew. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they fucking fucked me. And his whole thing was like, I made this is This is the second time I fucked my daughter over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that second time was the straw that broke the camel's back. Where she was just like, I'm done with you. But the thing is, she was the same as he was.
Yeah.
Because he was that way with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like once you fuck me, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty much done with you. Even though he tried. I think when he went home the second to last time, because when the first time we went home, she got him arrested. The
Right.
second time, she was like, don't come in my house. I don't have a son. And
Mm-hmm.
all this type shit. He was hurt.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He was hurt. And like he was trying to speak to her and he could see that he just couldn't get anywhere with them.
Right.
And I think that George, like you said, like when you look at all of the female relationships that he had, like all of that shit was fucking tainted.
Literally.
But his dad, which is it's crazy to for all the shit that we've seen, for
Mm-hmm.
Ray Liotta to play the straight man who,
Crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
he's the one who worked the job, and
Yeah.
he's dealing with this lady that he just fucking loves her, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that we could do as not all men, but some men where it's just like, what I'm saying? There could be some shit fucked up with a woman, but it's like, yo, like if we fucking love that motherfucker, we fucking love her. And
Absolutely.
but like he had that same love. Well, it's a different type of love, people. But
Mm-hmm.
he fucking loved George. He
Yeah.
loved his son through anything. And then that fucking scene where what I'm saying, where he talked to his dad in the tape recorder and his dad was
Mm-hmm.
listening to that shit, like he was fucking hurt,
Yeah.
like he was hurt. And it was just like it's wild looking at Ray Liotta as the straight man who worked the 9 to 5 and all that type of shit, owned his own business, and his
Mm-hmm.
son was the fucking big drug dealer and shit.
Right.
But it was wild watching that, man. But yeah, it was because then I'm gonna tell you something that's different about this movie
Mm-hmm.
than most other drug dealers. Like a lot of the shit that I do, a majority of the time, those people were either linked to killing people or
Mm-hmm.
killed people.
Right.
Now, like I say, I don't know why George, because I'm pretty sure George and the guy, I'm pretty sure George had something to do with this guy who wrote the book
Mm-hmm.
and the screenplay and all that type of shit. I'm pretty sure he told. I don't know why at this point he would leave out if he actually murdered people.
Well, I
But
mean, regardless if he murdered somebody or not, nigga was connected with Pablo, so murders
I
happen.
mean, yeah, murders happen, but like
Murders
I don't think
definitely
he
happen.
he didn't order any of it though.
Well, you know what though, and I think that was the genius behind him though, was that he didn't have he never had to take the the um the
The
violent
violence, right?
route, and to me, right, like I think that's what in totality, I think what really fucked him up was his loyalty to everybody.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
very loyal.
Because he was a very selfless, and this is like an oxymoron even say the shit, but he was a selfless drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like right before, what I'm saying, this nigga about to get busted by the people that he fuck with, he like, yo, I'm about to give y'all raises. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just need to hit this last lick and we up out of here. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker that, what I'm saying, met in jail, the only thing he didn't do for this motherfucker was just tell him how he got them bricks off. And this motherfucker lost his shit, got him shot. You know what I'm saying? Then you know what I'm saying, the chick that he with, I mean, that's kind of a quarter flip because you know what I'm saying, you lose them how you get them. So I mean, that was what it was. But then, you know what I'm saying, like even Derek, like just the fact that he was loyal to Derek whenever he in the bind, the first person that he was going to was this motherfucker. And look how, you know what I'm saying, like you said, the greed and the envy and everything else. And it's like, yo, the fact that he stays so true to everybody else, I don't think that he would have ever had to deal, even if everybody done right by him. I don't think that he never would have had to deal with any of that shit because, like, even if you think about it, like with Tuna, after a while, like we ain't hear too much about Tuna no more. But you never heard like Tuna trying to come back and get him or come back and kill him or You know what I'm saying? Like even with Pablo, like yo, Pablo could have offed him right then and there, but Pablo seen something in him and was like, he good. You know what I'm saying? He Pablo could have off Diego. He saved Diego. Like even all the motherfuckers that was at the table, they could have tried to off him. But because he was so good at what he did and because he was so loyal to it, even the fact that when they was in the hotel and he like, yo, you know, you what are you here for at this point? Like you really don't even need to say nothing. That motherfucker pilot looked at him and was like, yo, 2 million. He like, all right, whatever. Let's just get this shit done. I don't give a fuck how much you get. Let's just get this shit done. We all making money at the end of the day. And I think that because he looked at it that way, you know what I'm saying? It really wasn't no need for him to kind of kill nobody or get nobody killed or none of that shit. At least that we know of. But yeah, I ain't really see no purpose as far as the, you know what I'm saying, for him to bring in violence.
Yeah, yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like he was able to do it, and there are people who are, you know what I'm saying, considered a huge drug dealer that was never linked to violence. Like there
Mhm.
are ways to do this shit without being violent.
That is true.
And but and I think that George was one of those guys, but I think you hit the nail on the head. Like he was his, which man, like that would be my detriment, is being too loyal to people.
Yeah.
Because that's one of
Yeah.
my biggest issues today is
Yeah.
being too loyal to people.
People that just
And
don't really give a fuck about you, bro.
yeah, and like
Same here.
that was one of those things. And it was just like you see like all of these broken relationships, and like when Tuna left, it was just more some maybe Tuna seen what was coming.
Or it was just the fact that yo, George is hot. I can't keep being around this motherfucker, or maybe I'm gonna get locked up too.
I mean, this is true.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
true. Maybe he was just like, yo, like you got too much shit following you. Because
Mhm.
when Tuna stopped fucking with him, it was after the Chicago shit.
Yeah. Like that,
So
that's what I was saying. Like the fact that because remember that's early on. So like once he get hit in Chicago, he come back home. We don't hear no more about Tuna. We don't know where Tuna at. We don't know what Tuna doing. Like we don't know none of that shit. We just know that he came home, he was fucking with Diego, and everything went downhill from there.
okay. So I've been wanting to ask this question to somebody for a long time and watch this movie. And we'll end it off with this. Dooley,
Yes,
do you think Dooley got hemmed up and just was like,
absolutely.
okay, I think
And
the
I'm
same thing. I
and
think
I'm
he
gonna
got
tell you,
hemmed up
and I'm
and he
gonna tell
started
you why.
working for them boys.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because the one scene that always makes me side eye Dooley is when everything started and she was getting off the plane and meeting him. And he
Hmm.
kept saying, we need
More.
more. We need more. I always thought that Dooley, when I first started like watching this shit, I always thought that Dooley was stealing from him. And I
Okay.
thought like, you know what I'm saying, that we was gonna see that Dooley was taking skimming out, you know what I'm saying, off the top on him. But then the more and more I watch it and just recently, I'm like, yo, I think Dooley had something to do with him getting locked up in the Chicago thing. I think Dooley had something to do with a bunch of this shit because
That's a great
even
thing.
even him coming to California was weird. Cause how the fuck you just run into these motherfuckers on the beach? You just happen to be in the same spot they was in.
All of these beaches in fucking California, and you
As
happen
big
to
as the
run into
beach
two
is in
people that you
California,
know in fucking Los Angeles.
and
Not even Los Angeles, just California.
your big idea is, yo, we should bring this shit back to the East Coast. All of that shit sounds skeptic to me. Dooley has always been skeptic to me.
Dude, you that guy, man.
I'm telling you, bro. Like
Because
that
for
shit just
all of that,
none of that sat right, bro.
yeah, it didn't sit right. He come out to California for no reason. Yo, let's
Hmm.
bring this shit back east. He always want more. Then the Chicago shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the birthday party. We don't know how and why these motherfuckers busted that house at that time when everybody fucking got there.
No, I'm gonna tell you what really threw me off too. This I don't know why this always throws me off when I watch this. So remember, Dooley kept talking like he kept talking about we need more, we need more, we need more. He kept talking numbers like yo, we can do this for 500. Bro, when they counted that money, that motherfucker said 128,000. My nigga, let me tell you something. That's an awful low number. For the way that they was describing them moving this shit and as many times they show her going back and forth, that's an awful low fucking number for you to be going on campus where these motherfuckers is paying 100 for it. Over here they paying 5, and all you come out with is 128,000 with the shit that they was moving. That shit was iffy, bro.
This is very true.
That
And
shit was iffy.
then for Derek to get a phone call, and then Derek set him up with these people
Mm-hmm.
that's involved with Dooley.
Mm-hmm.
And Dooley is like one of the last faces you see when
Before
them
you go
boys
down.
get you. Like, come
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah. I always
You
I
got,
always felt iffy about dude though. Like even the like I said, even the way he popped up was nah. That's one of them people
bro.
that you gotta go find when you get out and whoop his ass.
Yeah, the world ain't that small, my
No,
guy.
not at all.
Not
Not at all.
that small.
Not for you to leave Boston, end up in fucking California doing your thing with your homeboy, and then just randomly out the blue, this nigga just pops up out of nowhere. Just so happen to be on the same beach that you on, and nah, hell no.
Yeah.
Everything get hot soon as you meet Dooley. Everything get hot soon as you meet Derek. Really, this shit is a series of unfortunate fucking events. This nigga is Lemony Snicket. I'm just being real. This nigga has the worst fucking luck in
Yes.
life because for and don't nobody take offense. For him to be a white man going through all this trouble is crazy. Like this nigga was getting treated like a nigga in Brooklyn. That's fucking wild. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
hilarious.
Like, yo, like that shit is crazy, boy. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, you on one end, I kind of blame him for a lot of the shit because, like I said, he was too loyal to the soil. But then on another end, bro, I feel super sorry for him because it's just like everybody that this motherfucker get involved with, just fuck him over.
Yep. Everybody but his dad.
Yeah, and that like that to me, that was just crazy. Like the one motherfucker that ain't got nothing to do with this shit that that has begged you over and over again, yo, just get the fuck out the game. Stay by your side no matter what. Everybody else though, like, well, I give his daughter credit too, because his daughter was really fighting for that. But of course, because everything happened, she really ain't had no choice because she really don't know. She just know the motherfucker ain't show up. Emotions, I get that. That's a kid too. But like everybody else though, like, well, take Barbie out too, because Barbie didn't really, you know what I'm saying? But them three was the only people that really gave a fuck about him. Everybody else was like, yo, as soon as we get the drop on him, he out of here. You know what I'm saying? And to
Watch
me,
me.
I didn't understand it because it was like, if he making so much money for y'all, like, why do y'all keep fucking this dude over? Like, do y'all think y'all can take over the like? Because I just don't understand that. Like, why give up the cash cow?
Ego.
Yeah,
If
like
he
that's
can do it,
stupid.
I can do it.
Yeah, nah, fuck that, man. Let me tell you something. Like I told you, when they told that pilot $2 million, me and George have been best goddamn friends. He'd have been at all my birthday parties. You know what I'm saying? All kind of shit. Like me and George have been buddies. Ain't no way, bro. I just yell out, nah, I want $2 million. And he like, all right, man, just fly the goddamn plane. Hey, you know what? You are the man, George. You know what I'm saying? George's name is going on my tombstone.
Yes,
That's all
sir,
I'm saying,
man.
bro. That's all I'm saying, man. I just think, man, he really took an L. But man, let's go ahead. I already said mine, man. We can go ahead and get into yours. Let's do the Fire Flames, bro.
Let's do it.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
All right, so what you got, bro?
All right, man. The cast was phenomenal. They put together a really good cast, really good story. Um, I think it was shot well. I think you brought up, I'm saying, a very great point when it came to Dooley. Um, I'm gonna give this movie. I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Okay.
This is like a movie. Like I told you, I've always fought with this movie, man. I think Johnny Depp did a really, really good job doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think Penelope Cruz, you know, for what I'm saying, the underground legend that she is.
Oh
You know
man.
what I'm saying? For Ray Liotta not to even to be the star,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and to do the job that he did.
Because he could
Like,
have played a bunch of different roles in this.
yes, he really could have.
Yeah.
And he did the whole thing of well, I just be the dad that's gonna keep aging. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, I'm gonna give this movie a 4.5, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Like I said, man, I'm giving it a 5. You mentioned the way it was shot. Yo, the graininess that make it feel like it's the 70s and they give you that, you know what I'm saying, that old film look. Like I love that about this movie, man. It really gives you the feel of that time. It makes you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you really watching like the life of somebody in the 70s at that time. It really gives you that feel. So I definitely appreciate that. But like I said, 5. Um, let's go ahead and move on, man. Let's get into coming soon.
Let's do it.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
All right, man. So this next movie that we got, man, we are covering The Siege. No pun intended. Shout out to Siege. Um, hold on, The Siege. Who is in this?
The Siege. That's the one that I'm thinking. That's the
It's
one.
an old white man.
Denzel Washington, Bruce Willis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. For some odd reason, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I heard of The Siege, I was thinking Steven Seagal.
No,
He got a movie
I
called like
knew.
Under Siege or something, right?
Yeah, he got a movie called Under Siege. But like, I
Okay.
always got the Siege. I don't know why I always confused it with Crimson Tide.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this
Because
is
I'm
gonna be
not gonna lie
interesting.
to you. I was already about to trash this movie.
Yeah, the Siege, and I'm trying to think. Have I seen the Siege? Because, like I said, I get this movie confused with
It's a woman in this movie too, ain't it?
well,
No, I mean like as
um
the co-star.
Annette what's her name? Annette
Benny?
Benning?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I've
yeah.
seen parts of
She's
this. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. So let
yeah,
me
yeah.
make
I've
sure.
seen parts of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I let me make sure. Yep. Okay. I actually have this movie. I've never watched this shit all the way through. So this is gonna be
Yeah,
my
me
first watch.
neither. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is gonna be my first like
Oh
watching it from start to finish.
yeah, this is gonna be a good one there. Cause if this is trash, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but
Um
most Denzel movies aren't. But okay.
No, they not. That's why it's gonna be fun. Because if this is a trash Denzel movie, oh my goodness, I can't wait to do this. I've been waiting to trash a movie, bro. We got to do a movie that we can just trash. Like we got to pick a Steven Seagal movie because all his movies is ass. That's why I was waiting to trash this shit. Because I told you the first thing I thought was Steven Seagal. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do this one. I'm about to kill Steven Seagal, but nah, he's so horrible. But no, it's like you said, Denzel, Bruce Willis, Annette Bening. It's bound to be a good one. Those are 3 great actors. Um, Annette Bening's name, man, it ring bells anyway. So does Bruce Willis and Denzel Washington. So, you guys get pumped up for that one, man. If you haven't seen The Siege, just like us, make sure y'all go watch it. Or if you've already have seen The Siege and this is one of your favorite movies, rewatch it again, and you know what I'm saying, get prepared for the next episode. And you know what I'm saying, we will see you guys then with that, and we'll be ready to talk about it and get busy. But if you guys like Blow, if you don't like Blow, if you've done Blow, hit us up on social media. Let us know, man. On Instagram and X, at ViewerNonPod. Pod. You can hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. We have a community on X that you can follow, Viewers Anonymous, where we talk about movies and television all day. Also, if you are not subscribed to the podcast, you can subscribe. It's only $2.99 a month. We have extra episodes in there. We just got done covering Winning Time. I believe we have a behind the scenes coming up soon, so you guys jump on there, get those extra episodes. You don't want to miss them. If you love Viewers Anonymous, you're gonna love it even more because the paid episodes are totally unfiltered. So we really are talking about some wild shit on there. I think when we covered Winning Time, like half the time we weren't even talking about the episode. We were just talking about shit that happened in real life. So
Oh yeah.
that was super fun. Also, man, if you want to follow me on X at Schools Bronson. I have a link tree in my bio. You can find me everywhere else there. Check me out on Twitch as well at Schools Bronson, and that's all I got.
And y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram and on X at 28 minutes or less pod. That's just on IG. Follow the podcast on all major platforms, 28 minutes or less. Last episode is still 135 with Fast X. And that's all I got.
Oh man, I promised I was gonna do this, and I know we're supposed to be clearing out, but I have a question for you. And we had talked about this on the Xbox headset or Xbox chat yesterday. Who do you think is more famous, Snoop Dogg or The Rock? I meant to do this at the top of the episode. And I think I'm gonna put this down as a question on the social medias too. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I might go Snoop.
That's what I said, bro. That's the same thing I said. They was trying to convince us because it was only two of us fighting for Snoop, but they're trying to convince us that The Rock is more famous than Snoop Dogg. I'm like, bro, there's no way The Rock is more famous than Snoop Dogg.
I think the Martha shit really took him to another height.
That's what I said too. That's what I said too.
Yeah.
I said the same thing. I said, bro, Snoop Dogg got commercials in Japan where he's rapping in commercials in English, and the dude comes in talking in Japanese. Nobody knows what's going on. I don't know what it's a commercial for, but yeah, their argument was that because of The Rock had more followers than Snoop on social media, that's why he was more famous. And I tried to tell them followers don't really equate to fame because a lot of The Rock's followers could just be from WWE. A lot of them could be from movies. But then my thing was about The Rock, right? Was like his two most successful franchises, he's not even really the star in them. Like he has co-stars.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And Fast and Furious, he got like Vin Diesel and Paul
Walker.
Thank you, Paul Walker. And then in Jumanji, he got Kevin Hart and Jack Black. So it's like I've yet to see a Rock movie be a blockbuster with just The Rock.
It was supposed to have been Black Adam, but
that don't count. That's a superhero movie, and people are gonna go see superhero movies regardless. I don't know why they thought Black Adam was gonna be the movie to save DC, which was fucking weird to me because there ain't too many people who know who the fuck Black Adam is, let alone who know who Shazam is. And then like y'all didn't even merge them two motherfuckers together, so I instantly knew that shit wasn't gonna be what it was. But it was a good movie though. We'll give credit. It was a good movie. So I will give him that. But there's no way on this green earth that Snoop Dogg is less famous than The Rock. They was talking about like Moana and shit like that. I'm like, come on, bro, y'all killing me. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. It's always greatly appreciated. Your support is always needed. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast if you haven't yet. I promise you won't be disappointed. But until the next episode, you know how they say it in Hollywood. That's a wrap.
Cut.